Welcome to this week's edition of Systems Analysis and Design Tools. My name is Joanne Murphy. An organizational approach to systems analysis and design is guided by various methodologies, technologies, and tools. The methodologies are the comprehensive multi-step approaches that will help guide us through the development of an information system. They are our roadmap, per se. From the waterfall method to the spiral model to the extreme model, all are well-organized, methodical approaches to assist us with systems analysis and design. The techniques we use are the processes to support the various tasks involved in the development of an information system. They help us establish a well-thought-out development environment, from concept data modeling, conceptual data modeling, to logical data modeling, data flow modeling, and entity relationship modeling. All of those techniques help us in the development process. We also have tools that make it easier to conduct the steps involved in software development and to help us follow the guidelines of a chosen development methodology. This presentation will focus on one aspect of the available tools for systems analysis and design. We have many tools that help us with small and large scale programs. An understanding of each of the elements of a systems analysis and design and their interactions must be studied in order to use them effectively. We've used computer programs, multiple charts and diagrams to help us describe the actions that are being taken. But remember, the map is not the road. Once you initiate the development cycle, you'll have many well thought out and constructed tools to assist you in the development process. But you must not forget the most important tool, one that will have the greatest influence on your success. That being the human element. The human element concerns the people you'll be dealing with during the entire process. It includes your coworkers, stakeholders, and most importantly, you and your voice. And what do I mean by that? Believe it or not, you and your voice play a very important role in assuring the successful outcome of a systems analysis and design lifecycle program. The characteristics that make you you will greatly influence the development environment. This presentation will focus on who are you, so that you can fully understand what you are bringing to the development environment. You're going to be using your knowledge, your thoughts and your feelings, your heart and your mind, your moral compass, your background, your customs, and your upbringing. So who are you? We'll run through several assessments here to show you what you can use to find out who you are. The first two assessments are personality types. Then we'll talk about your strengths. And we'll also discover your creativity and ways to improve it, and talk about leadership styles. The first assessment is the Myers-Briggs application, or type indicator. Probably the best known personality indicator is the Myers-Briggs type indicator. It provides you with the best starting point into your self-discovery. This assessment studies your preferred method of interacting with the world around you. It helps you to know your personality type, and you can use this knowledge to understand yourself. You can also use this knowledge to help you understand others. And you can use this knowledge to overcome your weaknesses and for personal growth. My Myers-Briggs results were the idealist, which is also known as INFP. The INFP stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceiving. And these are the personality types that I use to interact with the world. That's how I process information, and that's how I interact with people. So what's your Myers-Briggs inventory personal type? You can take a test on any site. Just Google the Myers-Briggs assessment. The next personality test that we took was the Big Five personality test. It's also known as It's also referred to as the ocean model of personality because of the acronym which forms the characteristics it measures. It measures open-mindedness versus closed mindlessness, conscientiousness versus disorganization, extrovert versus introverted, agreeable versus disagreeable, nervous, high-strung versus calm and relaxed. And you can see the first letter of each of the measurements spells the word ocean. My big five, and which really correlates to what the results I received from my Myers-Briggs. I am open to new experiences. You can see that by the 76 percentage score. I'm conscientious, 83%. I'm extrovert, which coincides with the Myers-Briggs. I'm only 15% extrovert, so the rest I'm pretty introverted. Agreeableness, pretty agreeable at 90%. And neuroticism, or as it was noted previously, I'm pretty calm and relaxed. Where do you fall in the personality spectrum? You can take these two tests to find out. The next assessment is, what are your strengths? This assessment was developed by the Gallup organization in their Strengths Finders 2.0 book. You can find it on the internet or in any bookstore. It costs about $9 to get your assessment completed. Donald O. Clifton, a PhD, spent his life researching human strengths and developed a language of 34 of the most common talents. These are natural talents, God-given talents. He actually did this study on successful college students. He wanted to find out how they succeeded instead of studying what was wrong with those who were failing. So he came up with these strengths, and you can find yours as well. Take the 2.0 assessment test, again, either online or buy the book at a bookstore, and it'll provide you with your 5 natural talents. You can pay extra to get all 34 in order as they pertain to you. They help you understand and develop your own talents, and you can use this information to understand others. Because once you find out what your strengths are, you'll be interested in finding out the strengths of others. My top 5 are empathy, connectedness, restorative, adaptability, and harmony. And I would say they were right on. I've had my entire family take this test, and it's very descriptive of the strengths that my family has. So you'll enjoy taking this particular assessment. Here are our list of the top 34. And again, as I mentioned, you can take the test and pay extra and get all 34 of those analyzed for you. The test takes about 30 minutes, and again, it's about $10 to take the test. If you buy the book, it'll be closer to $20, but it has a full description of each of the natural talents. And it'll also have information on how you can go about developing your natural talents into strengths. Our next assessment is creativity. How creative are you? There's a test called testmycreativity.com, which will measure your creativity using 8 metrics. I was pretty disappointed because I always thought I was quite creative, but I only came back with a 71.66%. So I set about looking for ways to improve my creativity. And I found a magazine which was highlighting the mad science of creativity. In there, they had an article that showed you ways that you can improve your creativity. It's not something that you're born with. Anyone can improve their creativity. The first suggestion was to preserve your ideas, and that can mean having a notebook by the side of your bed, so when you wake up with a thought or a solution to a problem, you can write it down right away. Mobile phones make it really easy to record as well, so you can keep that by your bedside to keep track of and preserve those ideas as they're happening so you don't forget them. The next solution they recommended was surrounding, and that meant surrounding yourself with interesting people and things. So it's kind of like breaking out of your box and trying new things and discovering and learning about new things, because you'll be able to transfer that knowledge and it will improve your creativity. The next suggestion was challenging. They suggested you tackle really tough problems. You get a sense of accomplishment when you've done that, and then also helps you to improve your creativity by taking a look at various ways to solve a problem. The next suggestion was broadening, expanding your knowledge. And that could be anything. Just go out and study a new subject you've never learned before. Because you can transfer a lot of the knowledge you learn in other areas to areas you may be working on. So what's your creativity score? Take the test and find out. The last metric or the last assessment we're going to take a look at is your leadership style. According to Kurt Lewin, a noted psychologist, there are 3 major leadership styles which should be used in combination to ensure successful leadership. They are all used at different times and in various situations, depending on the environment you're working in. They are the authoritarian leadership, which is autocratic, participative leadership, which is pretty much democratic, and the delegative leadership, which is laissez-faire, and you really rely on other people to come up with ideas and kind of drive the leadership. So I took a test and I found out I was in the category of delegative leadership. I prefer to get all the ideas that are out there and brainstorm and then collectively come to a decision. There's a lot more assessments that you can take. There's one called What Kind of Storm Are You? And that'll show what your actions are when the pressure is high. It'll tell you what kind of storm. I happen to be a blizzard, so I don't think that's a real bad one, but you could be a tornado or a hurricane. It's kind of fun to take that one. And what kind of team member are you? There's various roles we play in team environments, and we can learn a lot about how we interact within a team. And once you realize your role, you're able to improve that and maybe branch out and try a new role. There's one called your political compass that'll help you discover another aspect of yourself. There's one called right brain, left brain, and it'll help you discover how you think and act and how you go about solving problems. And there's even one called What Color Are You?, which will tell you what color of a room you should paint, what color you should paint your room to help increase your productivity and increase your sense of creativity. So my leadership style is delegative, as I mentioned, and you can take the test at this link, psychology.about.com. So the human element, it really is an important part of the systems analysis and design process. So take the time to find out who you are. Your self-knowledge teaches you about others. It keeps you one step ahead of the game, and it will improve your process and your own personal brand. Thanks so much for listening, and look forward to speaking with you again.